Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Ask Us Anything live session. Today, it's all about discussions, the functionality that promotes training and communication. On our 30-minute live session today, we will discuss about this functionality, and then we will answer straight to your questions. Stay with us, and let's get started. My name is Irini, and I'm a customer education specialist. And with the help of Theodoris today, or else Theo, as you may all know him, we will be answering your questions live during the session. Before we start, just a reminder that this session will be recorded and you will receive it after it's over through an email. So feel free to share it with your team. And of course, we need your questions. That's why we would like to use the Q&A buttons on the meeting control panel. You will find it, and have no please don't worry about it. It doesn't need to be a question with your name. It can be an anonymous question too. Now, before we start, let's see what we have on our agenda for you today. So today, it's all about discussions, how we can start a discussion and how the discussions can work in our benefit by using them as content to our courses. This presentation will take approximately 10 minutes, and after that, we will answer all of your questions. Now, what are discussions? Well, discussions, it's like a forum communication tool which allow users to communicate with each other. They create a structured way of sharing ideas, questions, and opinions, and they're one of the best examples of social learning since the communication and the training is being promoted and the knowledge gaps are eliminated. The setup is simple and straightforward, but before I give you more details into that, let me first share my screen. I hope you all see my screen right now. So as we said, the discussions, it's a tool for instructors and learners. By default, the permissions is being adjusted for both roles, but on our presentation today, we will log in as instructors. So once you log in as an instructor, you will find discussions here on the right. So you click Add Discussion, and on the new pop-up window, you will need to give your discussion a topic. So let's call it remote working. And then on the message text area, this is where you will give a brief description of what this discussion is about. So let's go with this. Now, you can also add an image if you want to. So you can make the discussion more fun for your learners. And you can also adjust the size by using the edit option here. By double click the image. Now, if you want, you can also add attachments for your users to download, and you decide who the audience will be. It can be for all the users. That's why we have here the everybody can see this topic, or you can target the audience depending on the course that they have been assigned to, or depending on the group they belong to. Now, although discussions, it's a tool that promotes communication among users, you can use it as your personal note-taking space. Just set it private. We'll go with the everybody can see this topic on this example, and we will click post. And on the next page, this is where we have our discussion created and our users can comment here. Now, if we go back into the discussion page, we can see all the discussions that we have access to. And right next to each discussion, we have labels that indicate which is the audience that has access to. These labels are only visible for instructor roles. Let's go and see a discussion with more replies. So once we click in a discussion, we can see all the comments. The users, of course, can comment themselves. They can reply on specific comments. They can like comments they want to. They can also filter if they search for a specific comment. And if they want to get notification for every new answer that is being posted, they can click the subscribe button here. Now, we said that the discussions are allowed both for instructors and learners by default. But what if I want to adjust those permissions for my learners? Well, in this case, will need to sign in as administrators, go to the user types, and then find the learner type, click edit. And if I want to prevent my users from using discussions, my learners, I will uncheck this box here, click save, and now the behavior is saved and the discussion is not available for my learners. We also said that discussion can work on our benefits and using them as content when we're building a course. Let's see how we can do that. For this, we will sign in back as instructors and we will go to the discussions page. We will click on the discussion we're interested of using as content for a course. Let's go with this one. And here we will click the edit button because now we need to target the audience. So we will click only specific users can see this topic, and we will select the course that this discussion will be included as a unit. Let's go with the essential soft skills for this example. Click post, and then we will copy the URL and go back into the home page, still as instructors, find the course that we will include it as a unit, click edit, and then go here to the add button because we want to select iframe. Of course, it's a unit. We need to give it a name. So we can call it forum. Here, we will paste the URL and click embed. And we also have the option how this discussion will be shown to our users, either embedded or as a pop-up. Let's go with the first option. We will click Save and View. And on the next page, we have a preview of what the users will experience once they click this unit. And since discussions are promoting the communication, of course, they can review the threads, but they can still comment, they can reply, they can like a comment if they want to, so they can keep up with the communication. And this is how we can have a blended learning approach. This is how discussions help learners and instructors keep track and stay on topic. And with no further ado, let's jump into your questions. I see that we have quite some questions here and Doris has already been answering. So let's go with a question from Maria. Can learners create discussions? Because I can predict some confusion if I let them create discussions. Great question, Maria. Well, yes, by default, the permission is being enabled for the learners too. But if you want that not happen, you will sign in as an admin. So let's see step by step what we need to do. We will go to the user types, find the learner type, click edit. We already done that on our presentation, so you need to uncheck the discussions box from here, click save, and this is how the discussion functionality will be removed from your learner's dashboard. Now, let's see. There is a question about, can I set a time limit for the answers? Well, this is a question from Violeta. Thank you very much for your question. There is not limit when it comes to the answers. It's a communication tool. So there's not any limit. I mean, the communication is being promoted here. So no, there's not any time limit when it comes to the answers, unless you are talking about how much time the users have in order to change their answers. If that is your question, well, a learner can update, let's say, their answer in the thread up to 2 hours. After 2 hours, it will not be possible for them to make any updates. And of course, when it comes to the instructors, they can moderate, let's say, the answers simply by enabling this permission in the user type. So if we go here on the user types, find the instructor user type, it's the trainer type. What we need to do is go here to the discussions, expand the arrow and have the moderate permission enabled. Now, let's see what other questions we have. So the race is on fire today. He's been answering questions a lot. So let's see. Um, Hola, Irene. It's an anonymous question here. Can you also talk about automations? Because I don't have this on the free plan. Well, automations is a really interesting functionality. It allows to have specific processes automated once specific events triggers them. It's a functionality that can be found on the premium and enterprise plans. But if you're interested of getting to know more about the automations, please send us an email to trainingteam@talentlms.com so we can get back to you, and of course get you to know better about this functionality. And if it works for you, then why not having it later on in the future? Let's see. A question here also from an anonymous attendee. Is this session's recorded? As we said at the beginning, yes, this session is being recorded, and once it's over, you will receive an email with the session, and you can share it with your team. Uh, Now, let's see. A question from Matt. Can you show how discussions be limited to only one specific course? Yes, we can do that. So we need to log in as instructors and go to the discussion page. If you have already created the discussion here, let's go with the remote working that we had created. If you want to eliminate it into a specific course, you will need to edit the discussion. Click here, only specific users can see this topic, and then find the course from the list. Let's say the introduction to business, click post. And now only the people that they have been assigned to that specific course will have access to that discussion. And you can also follow up on this if you go into the discussion page. Here you can see the label that indicates which audience has access to that discussion. Another questions. Let's see. Is there a way to view how the courses are connected via the learning paths without having to go and look at each course? That's a very interesting question. It's an anonymous question, of course. Let's see. So the learning paths can be created from through the courses, but of course, if you want to check if there is a learning path that connects the courses, from the info page, from the info button here, if you click it, you will have, of course, apart from the content and any completion rules, if there is a learning path, if there are any prerequisites, you will have them here at the bottom if you scroll down. In this scenario, I don't have any prerequisites when it comes to this course, but yes, you can find it from the course info. So if you're interested in the prerequisites, this is a simple way for you to check on that. Let's see. Oh, so the race has been typing and typing. There's a question from Dina. I want to create live sessions. I can see ILTs and conferences, not sure how this work. Well, ILTs and conferences are live sessions. The difference between those two is that the conference is an independent live session. It doesn't need to be course associated. Well, the ILTs are part of a course, are a unit of a course, and a user, in order to complete a course, they need to have this unit completed. That's why the conferences can be found here, since they are an independent session, as a separate functionality, while the ILTs can be found once you click edit in a course and click add. You can find them here, instructor-led training. So the users will need to have this completed, register basically, and have then the instructors grade that ILT in order for the course to be completed. So conferences, an independent live session, ILTs, a unit, a part of the course that also needs to be completed. There is an interesting live webinar about the ILTs. So if you check on our talentlms.com/webinar page, there you can have access to that webinar. There are a lot of information about the ILTs, and they get into this in more details. Another question from Alan: can I rename discussions to forums? Yes, you can do that. And in order for you to do that, you need to sign in as an administrator. Go to the account and settings. And from here on the section of locale, right next to the default language, there is this little pencil called overrides. So if we click it and click add override, we will write the original word we need to change, that is discussions. And the overridden section here, we will write the one that we wanted to change. So it's going to be typo, forum. We click add override. We will dismiss this box, click save. And if we go back, thank you, as instructor now, didn't work. Let's try one more time because most probably discussions, I didn't save it. So let's try one more time. Things like that happens. It's a live session. So, and this is a demo environment. So sometimes it won't work straight away like it would work on your portal. So let's go back, counted settings, try it one more time. Overrides. Let's click edit and see what we've done here. Let's try like this. Update override. Okay, and then save. And let's go back as an instructor. Here it is. Now it's been updated. This is how you can change any terminology. If you want to update specific words into your company's terminology, this is how you can do it. Account and settings, section of locale, and overrides. There is another question from Jason. I would like to assign a set of courses to new users automatically. Do you support this? Great question, Jason. Yes, we definitely support this. It's really common for companies to have a specific set of courses that needs to be assigned to all users automatically once their accounts is created. And in order to do that, you need to set a default group. So we will sign in as administrators. Of course, we need to create that group, first of all, and add the courses that will complete the set. And then we will go to the account and settings, users, and then we will select this group from here, default group. If we click on the arrows, you have the list of all the groups that you have in the system. So you will select the group of your preferences. Let's say it's the bundle of training in this case. You will click save, and every time a new user is being added into the system, a new account has been created into the system, automatically this user will be added to that group and will be enrolled to the courses that they belong to that group. And how you can create groups, since we're checking a step-by-step guide here. Let's go back into the home page. You can create a group either as an administrator or as an instructor. You will click add group. You will give your group a name, a short description of what this group is about, add group, and on the next page, you will click the group tab and add the courses in that group. We have a lot of time for more questions. So let's see. There is a question from Ben. Can I upload my videos or just videos from YouTube? Well, you can do both. So as long as you log in as an instructor in the portal and you will click edit to the course. If you click add and click video, You will give your unit a name, of course. Here you have the option to either use a YouTube URL, posting it here, or if you click use a video and click upload a video, a pop-up window will come up. So for you to upload your own video. And of course, when uploading your own video, you also have some more options. That is to synchronize the timer of the unit with the timer of the video and prevent users to forward the video, or when changing tab, the video stops and it starts again from the point where it was left. But yes, you can do both. Let's see what other questions we have here. Is there a way to send notifications for discussions? Well, I'm afraid there's not a way to send notifications for this for discussions. You won't find any notification in the event engine related to discussions. But what you can do is click subscribe to the discussion. So let's go and see it. Let's go into the discussion. If we go here to the Learner Lounge, that's the discussion that we have. Here, you will need to click subscribe. And once you click subscribe, any new comment that is being added in this thread, you will receive a notification about it. So yes, automated by the system. Let's see. Who There is a question from George. I accidentally deleted some users. Can you restore them for me? Well, this is something that you can also do. I mean, things like that happen. So TalentLMS has this option available for you. So you need to sign in as an administrator into the portal and go to the reports. From the report page, you will select the timeline tab. This is the activity log, let's say, of your portal. This is where you can find everything. They have different filters. You can filter a specific time frame, events, users, and courses. When it comes to restoring users, all you need to do is find user deletion here. Of course, since this is a demo portal, I don't have any deleted users, but you will have a list of all the users that you have deleted. And right next to each user, right next to each line, you will have two options: restore the user or delete permanently. And this is how you can restore your users. Let's see what other questions we have here. Okay. Hi, I'm Leo. Can I use discussions in branches, or is it only on the main site? Of course, you can use discussions in branches. This functionality is available even to the branches. It's a functionality that can be created to the training environments. So if you go into a branch and log in as an instructor, the functionality will be available on the right. Of course, the admin needs to have the permission adjusted. Otherwise, the learners won't be possible for them to access the discussions. And a kindly note here, when a discussion is being created on in a branch, it can be accessed only in a branch level. You cannot access that branch discussion, let's say, from the main site, but you can have them both. Let's see what other questions we have. Theo is also answering, so I'm trying to find something that hasn't been answered yet. There's a question from Gonzalo. Do you support Spanish? Yes, we do. We do support Spanish. We have recently released TalentLMS in Spanish, and we also have our talent library in Spanish too. If you want to have more information into that, please contact with us to training team at talentlms.com, and we can give you all the information you want in regards to that. There's another question from Michael. You mentioned another webinar for live sessions. Do you have more? Where can we access them? Yes, we do have more webinars. We have actually more upcoming, but we also have our past webinars stored to our webinar page. You can find it to talentlms.com/webinars. This is where you can register for the upcoming ones and also check on our past ones, our webinar library, let's say. But thank you for the question, Michael. It was really great. Let's see. There's a question from Phoebe. How can I change the colors of your portal? It's to TalentLMS right now, if you know what I mean. Yes, I know what you mean, Phoebe. And to be honest, I also changed the colors to my portal too. So if you want to customize your portal, you can definitely do so. All you need to do is log into the portal as an admin. And from the home page, you will go here, account and settings, and go to themes. We have a variety of themes here, but if you would like to create a custom theme, all you need to do is select the elements that you want to change, for example, the header. And if you click here, you can either add the hex color or play around with the color palette here. You see that the change is instant to different colors, and you can also change elements that you don't actually see to this page. For example, the icons. You will have a preview here on the right. And once you're satisfied with the results, you can save as new, give it a name, click save, and this theme will be kept in the list here so you can use it later on. Or if you want to, but let's create a theme right now. Let's call it test. But if you want to, okay, test 01. Yes, the name exists already. But if you want to, you can click here, set as active theme, and update your main portal, or keep it here on the list and use it later on for your branches, because you can also customize the theme of your branches. Again, if you are into coding, yes, you can use the CSS field here or the JavaScript here, add your code and change maybe the size of the buttons or the font of uh, the letters here. Whatever customization you need to do when it comes to the themes and the coloring, this is where you can do it as an admin. And that's a wrap. Thank you all for participating to this live webinar. I know that you might have a lot of questions, so please let me remind you again, our email, it's trainingteam@talentlms.com. Feel free to send your questions and we will get back to you. And of course, we love your feedback. So our survey link is just posted in the chat. It takes less than a minute. So we love to hear your feedback. What do you expect from us for any upcoming webinars? Share your ideas and your opinions. And thank you all for joining. Thank you, Theo, for being on fire today and answering all the questions. You were a great help. And we expect you to our next webinars. But how can you check on our next webinars? Well, it's been said before, but I will remind you once again, talentlms.com/webinars. This is where you can find any upcoming webinars and register, of course, and have access to our past webinars, our webinar library, as we call it. Thank you all for joining. Until next time, happy training.